Yes, good morning, students. So here we go with the chapter. We already started it, and now the last part of the chapter is there. So the point had come when the narrator, he was like explaining that he had been attracted by that third level. The third level was a place where he wanted to go again, and he had even given the premium amount to go there, so that if he goes there, then he would not have to come back just because of the shortage of funds, right? So, and that was that. I left the same way I came, and I suppose next day during lunch hour, I drew $300 out of the bank, nearly all we had, and bought old style currency that really worried my psychiatrist friend. So why this worried? Why was the psychiatrist worried at the narrator's, uh, you know, move of purchasing the old style currency? Why was the psychiatrist worried about it? Do you know the answer? The narrator purchased old style currency, thereby giving a premium amount of $100. Why was it a matter of worry for the psychiatrist? Can anyone tell me? If yes, raise hand. It was a matter of worry, it was a matter of tension for the psychiatrist that his client, that his patient, narrator had even purchased old style currency to settle in third level, to settle in the past. So far one is talking about like the past was beautiful, that was a nice time, it's okay. But when somebody becomes over serious, when somebody becomes serious and also very much prepared to be there, then it becomes a matter of concern, especially for the psychiatrist, right? You can buy old money at almost any coin dealers, but you have to pay a premium. My $300 bought less than 200 in old style bills, but I didn't care. Eggs were 13 cents a dozen in 1894. But I have never again found the corridor that leads to third level at Grand Central Station, although I have tried often enough. So though he was ready with money also, yet he was not able to find that corridor again. Louisa was pretty worried when I told her all this and didn't want me to look for the third level anymore. And after a while, I stopped. So for some time, his wife, he told his wife all about what he wanted, and she also discouraged him to go for that kind of search. So eventually, after some time, even narrator also stopped looking for third level. Underline this. I went back to my stamps. So he started stamp collection again. But now we both, no, we are both looking. But now we are both looking. Who are we both? Who are we both? Narrator and his wife, both. So his wife never ever encouraged him to go for past. But now she also started giving him company in looking for the stamp collection. But now we are both looking every weekend because now we have proof that the third level is still there. Now both wife and husband, they are looking for third level because even both of them have got a proof that the third level is there. So now what proof has come in their hand? Let's see. My friend Sam Weiner disappeared. Nobody knew where, but I sort of suspected because Sam's a city boy and I used to tell him about Galesburg. I went to school there and he always said he liked the sound of the place. And that's where he is, all right, in 1894. So what's the proof? The proof is that his friend Sam Weiner has reached the third level. And he says that he likes the place. He likes the sound of the place. So he has gone back in 1894. Because one night, so how did he get this proof that his friend is there? Because one night, fussing with my stamp collection, I found, well, do you know what a first day cover is? So he says that when he was like going on with his stamp collection activities, then he says like, do you know what first day cover is? When a new stamp is issued, stamp collectors buy some and use them to mail envelopes to themselves on the very first day of sale. And the postmark proves the date. So the day when a stamp is issued, then the people, those who are fond of stamp collection, they post a envelope. They post one envelope in their own address. So that way the stamp gets, it gets stamped by the post office. So that postmark proves the date. The envelope is called a first day cover. So that envelope, which is mailed by the stamp collector to himself, that is called a first day cover. They are never opened. You just put blank paper in the envelope. Okay. That night, among my oldest first day covers, I found one that shouldn't have been there. So the one day when he was, opening up his stamps, and all, he found one letter which should not have been there. Why it should not have been there? Because it was never there. But there it was. It was there because someone had mailed it to my grandfather at his home in Galesburg. That is what the address on the envelope said. And it had been there since July 18, 1894. All. The stamp was a 6-cent, dull brown with a picture of President Garfield. Naturally, when the envelope came to Granddad in the mail, it went right into his collection and stayed there till I took it out and opened it. The paper inside wasn't blank, it read. So usually children, what we have read out, the first day covers are usually blank, but this paper was not blank because it was actually from his friend. Let's see from whom. So here is the paper which was there inside. So Charlie, I got to wishing that you were right. Then I go to believing you were right. Charlie, it's true. I found the third level. I have been here 2 weeks and right now, down the street at the Deffies, someone's is playing a piano and they are all out on the front porch singing, seeing Nally home. And I'm invited over for lemonade. Come on back, Charlie and Louisa, keep looking till you find the third level. It's worth it, believe me. So he got a letter from his friend Sam, the one who was in third level. And Sam is praising the third level for its beauty, for its calmness, for its nature, okay, for its serenity, and even invites narrator Charlie along with his wife there. So have you got till now something? Like Sam Weiner disappeared, the one who lived with this narrator. He disappeared and he went to the past. And from there, he wrote a letter to this narrator, Charlie. And of course, because he was writing from the past, so letter went into the collection of the past, which his grandfather had been preserving. Okay, so this envelope, which was there in the stamp collection, pile, which was of grandfather, it was there. The note is signed Sam. At the stamp and coin store I go to, I found out that Sam bought $800 worth of old style currency. So when he went to the store from where he got the coins earlier, he got to know that Sam also purchased $800 of old currency. That ought to set him up a nice little hay, feed and grain business. So that much of $800 would be enough to set him, to enable him the business of feed, grain or hay. And he always said that what he really wished he could do. And he certainly can't go back to his old business, not in Galesburg, Illinois, in 1894. His old business? Why? Sam was my psychiatrist. So what's the old, why, what? So Sam was a psychiatrist and he always wished, mind it, what did Sam always want? He always wanted to open up this business of hay, feed or grains, but he was a psychiatrist. So what happens, like usually we pick up the professions which we actually don't want to have. In our mind, there is always something else. So subconscious level works. So now Sam had disappeared into the third level where he was doing what he wanted to do. So the psychiatrist, the one who was laughing at his, the one who was telling him that it was a figment of his imagination, that very person is inviting now this person to reach third level. So the story ends here, leaving behind the questions which we need to answer to ourselves and to the examiner. Okay, first of all, we need to know whether it is possible. Is it possible that somebody go to back? Can somebody go 200 years ago? It's not possible, but here the story says that it is possible. So what do you draw out of here? What's your conclusion? What's the conclusion? The conclusion is, can anyone speak up? What's the conclusion? First, conclude the chapter in your words. Yes. Ishpunit, yes. What do you say about it? Unmute yourself, Ishpunit. Unmute yourself, Ishpunit. I have. Yes, Ishpunit. Yes, anyone who wants to speak up? Yes, does anyone want to say anything? This chapter is a science fiction. So the things have been proven from the scientific point of view. But it's a fiction. Fiction means it is not a real story. So the point is, what is somewhere in the subconscious mind of ours that we believe sometimes that that is right. So when the subconscious mind starts overtaking us, then we start getting disconnected from the real world and become more adjusted in the past. Or then we get more adjusted in that situation about which we are wishing or thinking about. So when we talk about the children who play video games or those games which are very, very like famous nowadays, why they are always, discouraged from playing these games, virtual games? The reason is that makes them subconsciously being in the game, and they start losing track of the real world. They start getting disconnected from the real world where they should be otherwise. They start finding themselves in the games itself. So the more you think about something, the more you start living in that. But that is always virtually, not actually. It's the other people who got to know that the person is, a little unbalanced, that the person has lost control over his mind. But that person doesn't come to know about it. For that person, that world is a reality. But that is not actually possible. Okay, so in this world, Charlie kinds of people are not very rare. You can't imagine how many Charlies are moving around us in the real life. Any sort of addiction, any sort of subconscious problem can make us like Charlie or Sam. What is Sam? The one who has become a psychiatrist. But did he actually want to become a psychiatrist? No, he wanted to become a businessman, the business of hay grain or something like that. So that he is opening up in his, imagination. So same is about Charlie. Though Charlie says that he is very well settled in the modern world, he's wearing the dresses like that, he is very well adjusted, he says he's earning good money and all, but there is something that makes him get stressed up and he wants to escape. Maybe he doesn't accept it, but it is so. So the in the end conclusion is like, no, let's not get so much engrossed in this in the mundane life that we forget to have a control upon ourselves. The fear, the distress, the worries, the anxieties, the stress, the tensions, they should not overtake us. Okay, what should overtake? We should remain a balanced person. Okay, the work should not make us overworked. We work to sustain ourselves. We don't work to be overworked. Right? So having a control upon our mind, body, and soul, that is the solution to overcome this kind of disaster which has happened with Charlie or Sam. Minded children, one thing you have to understand very clearly, that if Sam has gone to the past, it's not that he has really gone in 1894. The point is that he has become a little distracted from the real world. He's there only, but he doesn't realize that he's here. Okay, it's only his fragmented mind, which has made him feel that he's in 1894, but he's in very much present condition. So this is what we call as being schizophrenic, means with split personality, or with the with certain mind disorders, brain disorders. These are brain disorders. These are not this is not that one has gone to the past. Okay. So this is brain disorder when you do something, but you don't like it. So for God's sake, don't do something in your life which you don't actually want to do. And when you do something against your choice or against your will, somewhere or the other, you start becoming unhappy, and tensions or the stress, they start overtaking you. But when you do something which you like, which is your passion, then it will not overtake you. It will not make you overworked. You will enjoy it. You'll keep on enjoying that. Okay, if music is in your blood, go for music. If you want to be an artist, become an artist. Don't choose science just because you want to be something which your parents want you to be. Okay, so let you dominate upon your mind. You do what you wish to do. Okay, these are the disorders. These are psychological disorders which Charlie or Sam are facing. Okay, and these kinds of disorders can be overcome when we take a control of our life. Okay, when there is a balance between our mind, body, and soul. What is mind? What we work. Okay, when we have got so many things to do in a day, then mind becomes overworked. Then the mind needs rest, thereby giving it some balance. Thereby, when you take care of your body, when you do yoga, meditation, when you relax, when you do some exercises, that way your mind, body, and when you go for spirituality, then your mind, body, and soul are at balance. Then there is no way of becoming overworked. And the basic thing is, do what you like. Okay, love what you do. Don't take the things as burden. And doesn't mean that what we are doing, then it should be always something we love. Point is that you love what you do and you do what you love, both ways. And there are certain things in our life which we have to do, because that is how we can sustain our life. Okay, if you have to do some exercise for half an hour, and if you do that exercise with a burden, like I have to do this, then that exercise will also become an overburden for you. Okay, if your mother is cooking food, thereby taking it as a burden, then she won't be able to enjoy the cooking. There are many people, those who enjoy cooking, Okay, they become chefs because they love cooking. Anyone can become a chef, the one who loves cooking. Anyone can become a good singer, the one who loves singing. But the point is that what you do, you should love it. There won't be any stress there. Is that clear? So that's the crux of the chapter. Like you go through the back questions, and from tomorrow we will start revising the revision schedule will start off, and your first revision test will be next Tuesday, right? So next Tuesday will be your first revision test, and the first revision test will consist of, I have already circulated, I guess, a schedule. Have I circulated the schedule of revision test 1? Okay. So start revising your concepts one by one. Don't do all topics all in one day. Okay. So see you tomorrow.